The Augusta-like of American road courses. Built in the sheer beauty of the Deep South. The vision, the passion of a Southern gentleman. 15 turns, 80 feet of elevation changes, a 2.3-mile circuit, perhaps the finest road track in North America. It's 2010. The inaugural IZOD IndyCar Series event is here. Will Power comes over the hill and makes heavy contact. Will Power has compression fractures and a concussion. Coming off a horrific crash in 2009 that could have ended his career, Will Power returns to the scene, and this season with a pair of back-to-back wins that have jump-started his comeback. But as the springtime rolls through the state of Alabama, a long road to the championship remains as the heavy hitters of the IZOD IndyCar Series take to this field of dreams. For the first time ever in the state of Alabama, the IZOD IndyCar Series is about to compete on the spectacular and well-manicured Barber Motorsports Park in the Indy Grand Prix of Alabama. 90 laps of racing, 207 miles. It's time for the command. Let's go trackside.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Please welcome the visionary behind the Barber Vintage Motorsports Museum and the Barber Motorsports Park, Mr. George Barber, as he gives the command.
Ladies, gentlemen, y'all start these engines.
The command has been given. Syntax, beginning with row 1, let me hear you. Row 1, hot. Row 2, hot. Row 3, hot. Row 4, hot. Row 5, hot. Row 6, hot. Row 7, hot. Row 8, hot. Row 9, hot. Row 10, hot. Row 11, hot. Row 12, hot. Let's roll, base car, let's roll.
Just a spectacular facility on a spectacular day, and Jan has a look at the track itself.
And from this overhead view, you can see how beautiful it is. It's a busy racetrack. You mentioned, Bob, 2.3 miles and 80 feet of elevation changes. You work your way up through 1, 2, 3, these complexes. But look at turn 5. That's highlighted because that is the place, if there's going to be passing today, that's where you're aggressive. You're going to get it in there and try and get it done. Some really fast chicanes, 9 and 10. You're flying 165 into 11, up over the top of the hill. Just like Robbie Buell said, a physical, demanding racetrack.
And our strategist, Jack Arute, is on station. Jack?
Now, Bob, normally when we come to a racetrack, every team has got what we call the little book. In it is the history that they've done, setups, how many cautions, everything, the raw data that you need to develop a strategy. Well, that's not the case here at Barber Motorsports Park. This is the first race. It has gone so deep that let me take you back to warm-ups earlier today. Our pole sitter, Will Power, isn't even sure how the start's going to go. So what did he do on the final lap? He practiced. The key, Robbie, was to get the practice in anticipation of for real just moments from now.
Thanks, Jack. Things have been great from a public relations standpoint for Dreyer and Reinbold. Elizabeth Cannon is in charge of both Justin Wilson, who sits second in points, and Mike Conway, who sits second on pole today. There she is right there, but she's also been nervous the first 2 races because her fiance has won the first 2 races, Will Power. So while she has to take care of her boys at Dreyer and Reinbold, she also has her eye on her man, Will Power.
3 peak pole qualifying sessions so far in 2010. Will Power has won 2 of them And all 4 of his poles have been on road courses. He set the pace for today's race yesterday afternoon. Dario Franchitti has the other pole so far this year in Brazil. Here's the starting lineup. Mike Conway has his best IZOD IndyCar start alongside Will Power in row 1. Helio is with Marco in row 2. Marco's best start since Infineon last year. Scott Dixon has 35 consecutive top 10 starts alongside the fastest of the 3 cars from KB Racing Technology.
And that is Takuma Sato, who's done a great job to be in P6 today, but all 3 cars of KV are in the top 12.
The defending series champion is inside row 4 with Tony Kanaan, 2 top 10 finishes this year. The 5th row, Briscoe, who drove from 19th to 3rd at St. Pete, and EJ Viso, who led a lap at St. Pete. The 6th row includes Wilson and Marias.
And Justin Wilson is the highest qualifier. You see them come through here on red sidewall tires. Justin Wilson, the first one today to go with the black sidewall Firestones.
And as you look at the rest of the starting field, regardless of who wins today's race, Will Power will retain his points lead. He has that much of a cushion after the first 2 events of the year. Danica Patrick has the 19th starting spot for today's run. Vitor Meira starting his 100th IZOD IndyCar Series event. And we have one more newcomer to the series. Belgium driver Bertrand Baguette, driving for Conquest Racing, will start in last. Onboard cameras will be carried today by Dan Weldon in the National Guard Panther racing machine. Alex Tagliani starts 21st. He finished 6th 2 weeks ago. Ryan Hunter-Reay has the outside 7th row starting spot. He was 2nd in Brazil and 11th at St. Petersburg. Tony Kanaan is the 2004 series champion. Scott Dixon is looking for better results after an 18th place finish in St. Petersburg. And of course, Will Power going for 3 in a row and a 45-point lead in the point series. They, of course, have their choice of starting on the blacks or the reds. And there is the breakdown. 6 blacks, 6 sets of blacks, and 3 sets of alternate reds. We're not going to use the group rain tires this weekend, thank goodness.
That is certainly a great change, but look, there's no question the front of the field likes those softer, more grip alternate tires. We'll have to see if that strategy for Wilson pays. Great lineup coming to the start.
2 by 2 all the way back. Off of corner number 15. They come to the line. Charles Barkley is ready. And here's the green flag presented by Apex Brazil. Experience our energy to turn 1. Power has command.
Good to see how Conway just tucked in behind him, and everybody is clean through 1.
They go through here 2 by 2 in the back part of the field. Simona Di Silvestro is all running alongside Graham Rahal in the back. But up front, it's a train down to 5. Scott Dixon jumped the start. He's going to have to drop back a couple of positions. See some dust kicked up.
So we'll watch. Dixon's running in the 3rd spot right now. So when he gets on a straightaway, he's going to have to slow up and give those 2 spots. If not, they're going to bring him down pit road. So he needs to correct that himself.
And that's not a judgment call. The rules say that you must cross in your position at the start of a race, unlike a restart. So they just look at that telemetry. That's not a judgment call. Hey, you're out of position. Go back 2 spots.
Power through turns 11 and 12 with the rest of the field behind him. There's Di Silvestro and Graham Rahal. Mike Conway is only about a car length behind here as they come onto the front stretch for the first time. And Will Power will lead lap 1 with Conway running in 2nd position.
And there is Dixon.
Yep, there's
right
Dixon.
there. He let the 1 car round. That was a very good spot to do it. He didn't really lose any ground. He just nicely pulled over, got out of throttle. Now he needs to do that same thing for Marco, and then he's good to go. Back to racing.
Helio Castroneves 3rd.
The mental aspect of the driver, though, just going through that Dixon's probably going, no, I know it was a clean start. What are you talking about? But obviously it's communicated. He's all good to go right now.
And you want to get that job done early. You don't want to wait to let the people by. You want to get right back after it again and say, okay, my bad. Now I'm getting after it. See if I can take those positions back again.
Dixon's teammate, Dario Franchitti, carrying blue colors again this week, was Suave on the side pods this time. Right behind Dario Franchitti is